At 9 p.m., Jake made a resolute decision. He climbed the stairs to the bedroom, his thoughts weighed down with unease. Inside, he found his lively 26-year-old wife, Mia, preparing for a night out with her friends. The previous Friday, she had gone out with the same group. While Jake hadn't voiced his concerns then, the idea of it becoming a regular occurrence unsettled him deeply. Noticing the tension in his face, Mia sighed and asked, "You're not going to brood over this again, are you?" Jake's eyes fell on the tiny dress laid out on the bed and the bold red lingerie Mia was wearing. "I don't think I've seen these before," he remarked, keeping his tone steady. Looking slightly embarrassed, Mia admitted, "Well, yes, I got them earlier this week." Jake paused, his mind racing. Then he stepped into the adjoining bathroom and returned with a pair of plain cotton lingerie from the laundry basket. Holding them up, he asked, "So, is this what's considered normal for a husband? Something simple like this? Yet you're perfectly fine wearing this." He gestured to the lacy red ensemble. "For a room full of strangers?" Mia frowned. "Jake, stop. It's just a night out with friends, nothing more. Why are you making such a big deal out of this?" Jake's expression hardened. "Unless," he said quietly, "this isn't just a regular night out. Maybe you've arranged to meet someone there. Someone special, like a date." Mia's eyes widened in disbelief. "What? No. How could you even think that?" Jake didn't answer immediately. Instead, he chose his words carefully. "So, when you're out with them, you're telling me you never dance with other men? Never let them get too close? Never do anything that could be seen as crossing a line? That's ridiculous." Mia snapped, her frustration boiling over. "How dare you even suggest that?" Jake remained calm. "I suggest it because I've noticed things. Your friends. One is single, two are divorced, and then there's you. Do you honestly believe they spend the entire night without pulling you into their plans? Plans that might not exactly be innocent." Mia glared at him. "How dare you judge my friends like that?" "I'm not judging them," Jake said firmly. "They're free to make their own choices, just as you are. But the situations they involve you in, are they really places a married woman should be?" Mia crossed her arms, her eyes narrowing. "You're basically telling me not to go. How is that a choice?" Jake shook his head. "I'm not forbidding you from going, but I am saying it's inappropriate for a married woman to be in those environments, especially with single or recently divorced women whose priorities might differ from ours. They're your friends, but their choices don't align with the commitments we made to each other." "Unbelievable," Mia said, her anger spiking. "You're saying my outings with friends are a threat to our marriage. That's insecurity talking. I always come home to you, don't I?" Jake let out a long sigh. "I'm not worried about you coming home. I'm worried about everything that happens before you do. You're stunning, Mia. Surrounded by single men, alcohol, loud music. It's a recipe for trouble, even if you don't mean for it to be." As Mia opened her mouth to respond, Jake held up his hand to stop her. "And when you walk out looking like this," he gestured to her revealing outfit, "you expect me to be okay with it, like it's normal for a husband to just sit back and accept it." Mia looked at the clock and said sharply, "I promised to meet them at 10. You're making me late." Jake took a deep breath and made one last attempt. "You also promised to respect your husband. It seems like you're okay breaking that promise. Or is your friend's approval more important than my feelings? Don't you trust me?" Mia snapped. "I want to trust you," Jake said evenly. "But I'm tired of sitting at home every Friday night, wondering if this will be the night you accidentally flirt with someone or cross a line." "I would never do that," Mia retorted, frowning. "Then why did I see Gail's post last week?" Jake pressed on. "She bragged about her wild night out. We both know she's one of your friends, single, carefree, and doing whatever she pleases. How long do I have to pretend that's not influencing you?" Mia froze, speechless. Jake's voice turned firm and resolute. "If you want to go out dancing, invite me along. If you want to be around strangers, drinking and enjoying attention. Just be honest with me and with yourself. We can end this facade right now. You're being ridiculous." Mia lashed out, her frustration spilling over. "Am I?" Jake asked, unflinching. "I've been clear about how I feel. Now, you need to decide, stay here and work on our marriage or keep living this lifestyle. But know this, I won't be here when you get back." As I made my way home that evening, I found myself contemplating my own situation. Approaching my street, I instinctively decelerated and drove with heightened vigilance. A massive, treacherous pothole marred the center of the road, a hazard the city council had repeatedly ignored despite numerous complaints. This pothole posed an even greater risk due to our street's location at the base of a steep incline, where vehicles often raced down at alarming speeds. For years, I had dreaded the inevitability of an accident, but my concerns were continually dismissed. Every time I raised the issue, I was met with the same canned responses and vague assurances that the problem was being addressed. Their apathy had me seriously considering supporting the opposition in the upcoming election. Turning into my driveway, I noticed a vehicle I didn't recognize, a large SUV parked conspicuously in front of my house. It was certainly not one of Rachel's friends' cars. Rachel and I had been dating for 4 years, living together for the past one. She had been dropping hints about wanting a marriage proposal, and I had been meticulously planning the perfect moment to pop the question. But the joyous evening I envisioned was about to be replaced with an unsettling reality. Parking in the garage, I stepped inside and called out, "Rachel, I'm home." To my astonishment, I found her sitting in the living room with an unfamiliar man. A wave of unease swept over me, but I managed to maintain my composure. "Who's this?" I asked, my tone steady yet laced with tension. Rachel stood, offering an uneasy smile. "Welcome back, Jake. This is Nathan. We need to talk." Her tone, coupled with the stranger's presence, solidified my worst fears. My jaw tightened as I took a measured breath. "What's there to talk about?" I asked, my voice sharp and deliberate. "You both know how this looks. I hope there's a reasonable explanation." Rachel hesitated before straightening, a resolute expression forming on her face. "Jake," she began, "we've been together for a long time, and I do want to marry you. But before we take that step, I feel like I need to explore other aspects of life. I've been seeing Nathan for a while now, and I didn't want to hide it anymore. I think it's only fair to propose that we open our relationship." Her words hit me like a physical blow. "An open relationship?" I repeated, disbelief coloring my voice. "Seriously? You're seeing someone else behind my back and trying to disguise it as exploring life to justify your betrayal? This isn't a minor disruption, Rachel. It's outright deceit." Nathan attempted to interject, but I cut him off sharply. "No, stay out of this. This is between Rachel and me." Turning back to her, I added icily, "Both of you, get out of my house. I can't even look at you right now." Rachel sighed, disappointment evident in her expression, but she didn't seem surprised by my reaction. "I was afraid you'd react this way," she murmured. "I'll pack a few things and stay with Nathan for a few days to give you time to process this. We can talk when you're ready." Her calm demeanor only deepened my anger. As she approached, possibly intending to say goodbye, she stopped short and walked past me toward the door, Nathan trailing behind her. Following them to the doorway, I spoke coldly. "We're done. I'll let you know when you can come back to collect the rest of your belongings. And bring someone else. Nathan isn't welcome here." As they reached Nathan's SUV, Rachel turned back, her voice tinged with desperation. "Jake, please don't make any decisions right now. I know you're upset, and I'm sorry, but I truly believe this could make us stronger in the long run." Before I could respond, the deafening roar of a car engine shattered the tension. My head whipped around just in time to see a red sports car barreling down the steep hill, heading directly toward the infamous pothole. The car struck the pothole and spiraled out of control, veering straight into Nathan's SUV. The impact was catastrophic, landing precisely where Nathan had been standing moments earlier. Rachel's horrified scream pierced the air as she stared at the wreckage. The chaos of the scene, combined with the cruel irony of the situation, brought a bitter smile to my face. I stood silently, observing the aftermath unfold, fully aware that my life was now on a drastically different trajectory.